we call Herbalife, right? And so, just a little bit about her. All right, let's see. How many people do you have on the call? 31. All right, the goal is to, honestly, what time is it? It's 8:02. Okay, and one more minute. Okay, get to at least 50. I know before the end of the call, we'll probably be really close to the 100, right? But we have 1 minute to send those last minute messages. And like I said, invite someone that you feel like, needs this. Maybe they need this message, right? They need to, hear what's possible, get inspired. You just never know what one person can say, right, to change someone else's life, right? And sometimes it's not going to be us if I'm your friend or your sponsor, your coach, right? But it might be someone else's story. And that's what I love about Herbalife, that honestly, this is built behind, from story to story. And that's honestly what's, kept my battery recharged, through all these years, as we're obviously working to reach our goals within Herbalife. So, like I said, I'm gonna say a few things about her because obviously I don't know her too well. I just know that, it's, I've heard from her. I've come across those pictures. I know a little bit about what Jerry's been able to share about them, her family, amazing, beautiful family she has. But I know one thing, right? That hearing her and her stories and and her photos definitely brings me so much peace. You could tell she transmits so much love. And I honestly can't wait, to be able to obviously get more of that with this call that, we're going to have today. She reached president's team member, with her husband last year, completely qualified July 2020, right? She can confirm July 2020. She, has an amazing organization. She's currently stationed in Oklahoma building. I was able to see that they're opening up a protein bar soon. So I know that they're going to be able to create so much, momentum there and be able to impact their community through, this amazing, tool that we get to have, where we get to be able to help people, with protein bars. Yes, here we have some people that actually follow her already. So some of you guys might be familiar, right? We see her and we're like, there's someone that you obviously want to, there's a few people that I get to follow because I'm very exclusive with the type of energy that I perceive from people, right? So, this is someone that you definitely want to follow, see her journey. And I know that we are able to get so much from her, but, so she's in the works of opening this protein bar, continuing to build with her husband and obviously continue creating this legacy that she's been able to build in these last 3 years, and like I said, she was able to reach the 1% in Herbalife last year in July 2020. So I'm super excited to be able to hear, how she started, and her journey along the way. And, honestly, like I said, get inspired and see what's possible through her story. So let me see what time it is. All right. All right. So I guess we went a little bit 1 minute over, but without further ado, all right. So let's, I know we're all super anxious to hear from her. Executive President's team member, One Diamond, Araiza González. Welcome, babe. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Awesome. Hello, guys. I am so honored and excited to be here with you guys. Thank you to the leadership for having me share my story with you guys today. I hope I'm able to inspire at least one person here. I'm going to be as transparent as I can be, and I hope that this call can be a life-changing call, right? I'm sorry that it's not in Spanish. I was telling Adriana that I do know Spanish and I understand it perfectly. But I can't fluently speak it like if I'm sharing a story. But if I have a conversation with you, I could understand Spanish perfect. So si se me sale el español, it's okay, right? So I'll be talking in English, but maybe I'll try my best to share some Spanish with you guys. So if you want to make me a co-host just so I could share my screen with everyone, that would be awesome. So yes, guys, I'm excited. It's going to be a great call. Keep inviting people that you maybe have thought of, or maybe you're talking to. So keep on inviting everyone that you know. It's going to be an awesome call. I'm excited to share with you guys my story. And this is actually my first time sharing my story on a call before with a different team. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. So let me go ahead and share.
See if you're able to do it now.
No.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay, there. It says continue. There you go. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, awesome. Let me start sharing. So as you guys know, like Adriana said, my name is Araiza González. For those of you who don't know me, right, I'm 27 years old. I am a mommy of one. And, you know, before Herbalife, I was a full-time college student. I was working 2 jobs just to pay for school. I had no direction, no plan. I was just doing what I was told to do, right? We just grew up learning to go to school and get an education. That's what I was learning to do. At that time, right? So during that time, my parents had recently gotten a divorce. So I was dealing with so much emotions as a 21-year-old. I went from having everything to having to face some financial challenges with my mom. I was hanging out with the wrong crowds. I was skipping class. I was showing up late to work or just not showing up at all. I started creating bad habits due to a very painful moment in my life. And I remember thinking to myself, how will the next 5 years of my life look like if I continue like this? Have you guys ever thought like, how will the next 5 years look like in my life, right? So I always knew that there had to be more to life than what I was living, right? I felt like there was something inside of me pulling me to something greater. And I didn't know what that was, but I knew that there was more. So who in here has ever felt like there's more to life? I want you to type in the chat, there is more. And, you know, it's funny how they say that Herbalife comes to you at the right time, because although I didn't know what that was, I got introduced to Herbalife, right? And I got introduced to this opportunity, and it came to me at the perfect time in my life. I was looking for something, right? And that something happened to be Herbalife. And let me just say that I was so afraid of saying yes, right? I was so afraid of getting uncomfortable. I was so afraid of change. I knew that I was going to have to do things that were challenging for me, like getting on stage, meeting new people, talking to people. I was a very shy and timid person as a 21-year-old, right? So I had to tell myself, as afraid as I am, I want to get more out of life, right? And I want to become more. So, you know, that's when I said yes to my Herbalife journey in 2015. I met my sponsor through my best friend. And if you guys don't know who they are already, they are Diego and Jerry Gutierrez. They're 30K Executive President's team member. So they are my sponsors. And I remember Jerry asking me, do you want to make $5,000 a month? And when she asked me that, I couldn't even process that through my head. I didn't even have more than like $800 in my bank account to my name, right? So then she said, she told me, well, you know, already work out, you love fitness. Why not get paid by doing something that you love? So she said, you know, what did she tell me? She's like, she told me, when she told me that, she's like, you're already doing something that you love, because I was already working out. Like I was into fitness. I was doing CrossFit. I was helping out at gyms, and I wasn't, you know, getting paid or anything, but I was doing it because I loved it. So when she told me that, you know, I immediately got on the product and I lost 17 pounds with the product. So I actually came in this for the business. And then I fell in love with the products along the way, right? So as you can see on the picture to my left is my sponsor, Jerry, presenting to me our Team Beauty project. If you guys know about Team Beauty, that is what she was presenting to me, right? So, and I don't even think I remember exactly what she said. I just remember her knowing and her saying and just feeling, you know, she had a vision, she was excited, and she believed in me more than I believed in myself. And I'm so grateful for being one of those 7 girls that you see there, you know, to start that journey with her. So we began our 12-week challenge. We all got amazing results. We all felt more confident. And that's when we did our first photo shoot. And I posted that picture on my Facebook and on my Instagram, talking about our 12-week challenges and who wanted to be part of Team Beauty and who wanted to join me. And that's when I, was able to launch my business through my Instagram and Facebook. So then we opened up, our facility in between us, the 7 girls that you saw in the picture. We opened up a facility for the 7 of us, and we launched our challenge. I reached out to all of my circle of influence, and I invited everyone who liked and commented on my Facebook and my Instagram. My sponsor would say, just get them in the door and I'll help you. And I remember being so shy and afraid whenever people who I would invite would walk in the door. I would get so shy and afraid because I felt like I didn't know anything about the products. I felt like I didn't know anything about nutrition. And it's so funny now because looking back, I was literally running away from my clients because I was so afraid of talking to them. So I'm just so grateful for my sponsor because she made me realize that you don't have to know all the information, right? You don't have to know all the knowledge. You just have to share how you feel and how the products make you feel. And that's what I did, right? So I gathered a group of girls. The picture at the bottom with me sitting with the girls, those were the girls that I invited and that walked in the door, right? So I gathered those group of girls and they joined me on the challenge, and I got them on a personal program. And throughout the challenge, we had fit camps, we had special events like spa days, empowerment calls. We gave back to them and just recognized them for completing their 8-week challenge, And as I started making an impact, the one thing I always understood is before you can be inspiring, you have to be inspired first. And that's something that I always understood, right? And that's what I was doing every single day. I was becoming inspired by making an impact in others' lives, seeing the transformation, seeing their lives being changed. There was no greater feeling than bringing people with you, right? So let me tell you, right? The lifeline of my business has been obviously events, right? And that has been there has been something about events that whether my business was going good or my business was going bad, I always could count on our events to speak into my life at the right season, right? So talking about events, in this season of my life, it was about the power of community and surrounding myself with people who wanted more out of life, because that's what I was looking for, right? When I first started, I wanted more. Like I knew that there was more to life than what I was living. So to me, events, there was power in that because I wanted to surround myself with people like that, people who wanted to become better like I did. So attending these events helped me understand how to build my business, how to work on myself, and to be the best distributor that I could be. I saw people sharing their story and making an income that I wanted to make, right? I saw people on stage with crazy amount of income, and I was just like, like that's awesome. And I wanted to be able to do that. So that's why events are so important, because I saw what was possible and I saw the magnitude of the company. So I was able to get my first cut. As you guys could see, I'm kind of looking through the pictures. I got my first cut to get team. I was able to bring people with me, my team. So I was slowly understanding what it was to build a business, right? Through the events. So for those of you who don't know, my husband and I, we met in Herbalife, right? This chapter in my life has been one of like the best chapters of my life, right? But yet the most challenging chapters of my life. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I, we had 2 separate IDs when we first met. We were engaged, and I remember him asking me, he was like, why don't you join my account and we do this together? Like either way, we're going to get married. Nos vamos a casar, vamos a estar juntos. Porque, he was like telling me, why don't you just do this together? We're going to become one. Like I don't see why we should have 2 IDs if we're going to be one. So that was the question. That was one of the toughest decisions that I had to make, in my season of my life, where I had to decide what will be the best for both of us, not just for me, but for both of us together as a family and our future. So we both decided to do this together as a team under one account for our business and for our family. After we got married, I joined his ID, and together, we were able to work. We were able to work towards our future and create that lifestyle that we've always wanted. But this is where the character building was being made. This part of my life is who I am today. In my journey, as I look back and I reflect, there has been three things that I've embraced over the past 6 years, because I've been doing Herbalife for almost 7 years already, and my husband 7 years going to 8. He has 1 year more than I do. So looking back in my journey and these three things that I've been able to embrace, and I want you guys, if you guys are writing down, write this down, and I want you to remember these three P's. It's position, process, and power. And you can have one without the other, right? Like each of them play an equal part. So position, process, and power. And we had to grow through things, so many things, right? And you notice how I say we had to grow through things, not go. During those years, that we were together, well, my parents had just gotten a divorce, so I was dealing with these emotions of my parents being divorced. Ben's mom had battled with cancer. We had just gotten married. We were learning to work together as a couple. We had to learn each other's strength, like who does what does, we were learning how to build a business and build our relationship at the same time, So we had moved to a new state. We are originally from Texas. We moved to Oklahoma 2 years ago. What else? We were learning how to be a marriage, right? I was pregnant. I was learning how to be a mom and how to still work my business. So it wasn't easy, is what I'm saying. It's been a hard journey, but definitely worth it. It has been worth it. So I'm just so grateful for the process in Herbalife. That gives us the power that we need at the time, right? Whether it's mentally or physically, everything that we've been through in our journey has been worth it and has led us up to where we are today. So, so because I took that leap of faith, not only have I been able to now create, my husband and I have been able to create a lifestyle, but we've been able to create, something that we've always dreamed of, but I've never had but now I have the opportunity to pass it down to my son and to my future kids down the road. And that's the beauty of Herbalife, right? You think about things, you envision things, you dream about one day the possibility of, having that lifestyle. And in Herbalife, this opportunity can be for you and for your family to create those dreams, to build a life, not just live, but to actually build something that you're grateful for, right? So together, we've been able to do that and been able to live that. So this is our lifestyle picture. We went from buying our home to buying our car. That's my baby on top, having our team together. And it's just been grateful, right? We've been so blessed and so grateful. And for those of you who are coaches, I want you to know that you're in the right place at the right time, right? Because there is something that we all carry in this call, and that's a why, right? Like each and every one of us carry a why, and sometimes we don't realize that. Sometimes we don't know what we carry. I remember like throughout, my 6 years in Herbalife, it has taken me a while to understand, the precision, the process. I had to go through so many things. I had to build the confidence. I had to, become everything that I could be and like work on myself more than I do on my job. At first, I didn't understand that. If you guys know that, that's Jim Rohn. He says, work more on yourself than you do on your job. And I didn't understand that, but now I do, right? Because when you focus on yourself, when you do your personal development, when you're just focused and you do what you have to do, the rest will come. And that's what my husband and I have been able to experience, like we're no one special. We're nothing crazy. We've just been able to do what we have to do. Every day we decide to become the best that we can be. We don't look at what other people are doing, and that's what has helped us. That's what has kept us aligned and just focus on what we want to do together for our future and for our family, because that's why everyone on here is on this call, right? Everyone on here wants an opportunity. Everyone on here wants a life change. Everyone on here wants greater things, right? Who in here wants greater things? I know we all do. So that's what we've been able to create, and just by working together and doing what we have to do and every day becoming better, right? So going on to the next slide, my why, right? Here's the picture of my family, my husband, my baby, and I put 2 pictures of myself. I think we did a call once. I was hosting a call, and then it was at our team retreat in Puerto Vallarta that I was speaking. I think I was speaking, and that time, like that moment in my life, it just brought me back to what I was talking about, right? Like sometimes I came into this business, right, because I wanted to be the best that I could be, right? Like I said, my why, right? I wanted to become the woman that I knew that I was meant to be. And I knew I had to break some habits. I knew I had to get uncomfortable. I knew I had to do things that I didn't want to do. And that's why I did Herbalife, because I saw the people who were surrounded me, and those people I looked up to, like Jerry was someone that my sponsor was someone that I looked up to. I would see her speaking on the stage, and I was like, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. But you learn, right? Like if you want something and if you don't know how to do that, you have to put yourself in positions that are going to help you create that, right? So it's so uncomfortable for me. It was so uncomfortable for me to like get on the stage and to talk and to share and to talk to people. But that's why I wanted to do this business, because I wanted to just become the better version of myself. And like I was saying, we all carry a why, right? Whether, why we do certain things, what gets us out of bed every morning, why do the things that we want to do, right? And everyone's why is different, and it will change. Everyone's why will change. It doesn't have to be the same why, or throughout your journey, your why will change. And my why was that, right? To become the best version of myself. Then it was for my family and my mom, right? My mom is a single mom. She was, my parents, like I said, they were divorced. So, I never want to see her having to struggle through things again. And, just to give back to my family, to leave a legacy behind with, with my son. And now that we get to live in this reality, it was all because I made a decision, right? That decision was made. Whether you are new on this call or whether you're a coach who needs to maybe remake that decision of why you're doing this business, just use what you have right now and step into that power, right? Use what you have, gather your thoughts and see like, what is my why, and step into that, right? Step into that power. So you guys, you guys have the perfect structure. You have great leadership. I know that for a fact. And, just doing it for your why and staying focused. That's something that, my husband and I have always been. My husband's why is to retire his mom. His mom works crazy amount of hours, and that was his why. And my why was for myself and for my mom as well, right? To give her everything that she needs as a single parent. So, now just to see our life today, now we're able to give back to my mom. Now, during that time that Ben's mom battled through cancer, we were able to pay for her bills. We were able to be there for her. I was able to take care of her because I was doing Herbalife and I didn't have to clock in a job, right? Like, I'm so grateful for that. Because of Herbalife, we've been able to take care of our family. And I think that's always been our goal, right? To always just take care of our family. And that has been our why. So that pulls us to what we do every single day. Right? So every day we wake up and we know what our why is, and we know what we have to do to get to where we want to be. And even though we've reached press team, even though we're press team right now, that doesn't mean we don't have challenges, right? That doesn't mean everything is perfect. That doesn't mean, we wake up and it's butterflies and rainbows. It's not, right? We're normal people. Every day we have something new, but our why is really what keeps us together, right? And what really helps us stay focused. And if there's, just something, I really don't want to take up much time, but I just really want you guys to understand the beauty of Herbalife, right? And any story is powerful. Any story can be inspirational. It's just you, right? It's just you doing what you have to do to get to where you want to be, right? And this is right here. I'm going to share this next slide with you guys. So these are pictures of our diamond, the guy in the middle. You guys probably know him, TJ. He's crazy, he's loud, he's our diamond. He is Ben's best friend. We love him. He's such an awesome person. We're so grateful for him. And then of course, Jerry and Diego. That picture was at a team retreat, at a press team retreat that they were able to pin us for qualifying for the president's team level. But if there's something that I could leave you guys with, is that we could do life, what we could do in a lifetime, God could do in the moment. And I want you to write that down. What we could do in a lifetime, God can do that in a moment. We went from being a millionaire team member for 3 years. We were a mill team, we were stuck at a mill team member for 3 years, to straight to executive president's team, 1 diamond in 1 year during a pandemic. How crazy is that? When the world is on shutdown, when the world is going crazy about what is going on, Herbalife in general was like skyrocketing, right? Herbalife was doing awesome. And I'm just so grateful to see that during a pandemic, that's when people needed us the most, and we were able to lock arms with our team and do what we have to do, right, to get to where we want to be, like I said. So this company has treated us amazing. We've got to meet our CEO. We continue receiving gifts. I'm like, babe, like Herbalife doesn't stop sending us gifts. Like we keep getting so many gifts, and it, like, I don't know how else to express myself but to feel so blessed and grateful to be a part of this, and to go back and to think, like, back then, how my life was, of not knowing where I was heading, of being so afraid of taking risk, of not allowing myself to be the person that I meant to be, right? If you're on this call and if you can relate to me, or you feel like there is more, there is more, right? There is. And I want you to know that, because I've been able to experience that. I've been able to live through that. And you're able to reach this, and you're able to do what you want to do, because I've been able to do it. And if I could do it, you guys could definitely do it too, right? So we've been able just to receive so many awesome things with our company. We qualified to honors. It was our first time qualifying to honors, and it was, honors is like the Grammys of Herbalife, if you guys don't know. So we're just so grateful and blessed, for our sponsors, because they believed in us and they gave us this opportunity, right? So, whoever invited you to this call, whoever got you on here, I want you to thank them, right? Because they gave you this opportunity, whether you're a client or you're a coach, like, you're in this Herbalife family, and it is the best place that you can be in, because this is the place where you'll get to be yourself, right? And to grow into the person that you're meant to be. So, we get to be present parents. I haven't missed a milestone that my son has hit. We get to be with him every single day. I get to be with my husband. I get to spend time with him. We get to travel, give Ben's parents and my parents what they need, like I said, and just, be able to give back. And I think that has always been our goal. It really hasn't been about the money, right? Of course, everyone in here needs to pay bills. Everyone in here needs like an extra cash. But at the end of the day, if you're doing what you love and you're creating something for yourself and for your future, the success will come, right? Everything else will come. And something that I heard that has impacted my life is that God doesn't call us to be successful. He calls us to be faithful, and then the success will come. And that has been our life for the past 6 years. Even before Ben and I, my husband and I, met, we both have been so faithful and so obedient to life, and always doing what's best for ourselves and for others. And I feel like God has really blessed us, right? God has really poured his favor over our lives. And that's all it is. Like, we just have to be faithful in what we do and give it our best. So, I'm just so excited. I hope you guys were able to relate to this. Let me go ahead and go to the last slide, and like Adriana said, it doesn't stop here. We feel like we are just getting started. We just got our keys to our nutrition club, and, we're just so excited to start all over again, to serve our community, meet more people. And this is our life. That is what we get to do every single day. Sometimes when, if you guys are coaches and if you guys are doing this full time, sometimes we get into like our little funk of like, like another day, or this is what, but then I think about it and I'm like, okay, snap out of it. Like, this is what we get to do every single day. Either we snap out of it, or how are we going to live our lives for the rest of our life, right? Like, we have to think this is what we get to do. This is what we get to do every single day. So many people wish they had an opportunity like we do. So that is how we like shake ourselves off whenever we feel that we're kind of just not doing what we have to do, or we feel like we're not doing, what we have to do. I don't know how else to explain it, but when the moment that we feel like that, we're like, shake it off. This is for the rest of our lives. Like, let's continue impacting people, right? Let's continue changing lives. So we're excited. So, just like Jim Rohn says, he says, if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you have to settle for the ordinary. And my heart for you guys is to live that extraordinary life, because there is more, right? You deserve it. You deserve to have everything that you've ever wanted. You deserve to have that house. You deserve to give your kids. Who in here are parents? I want to see, put a type of 5 in the chat if you are a parent. Who in here, has kids? And that is why we do what we do at the end of the day, for them, right? To leave a legacy behind. And you're going to do whatever it takes to give them the best life, right? Like, now as a mom, as a new mom, he's my little baby. He's 1 and 6 months. He acts like a 2-year-old, but he's already throwing tantrums. But I've learned that it is because of our family that we do what we do. We are, if you guys don't know us, maybe you guys follow us on Instagram. I know you guys have typed on the chat that you follow me on Instagram. We are a family-oriented family, right? We like to be together. We like to spend time together, and it's possible, right? It's possible to build a business. It's possible to build the life that you want to live and still have time for your family without having to sacrifice so much. You don't feel like you have to put your family aside, or don't feel like you have to, tell your kids like no, not right now. Don't feel that way, because you're able to. You could do this at your own pace. But you will get there, right? You will get there. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Of course, you want to get there as fast as you can, but I'd rather take my time and spend time and do what I have to do with my family than put sacrifice something that I love to reach a goal that I know will come eventually, So I don't know what else to say, guys. That has been, our story. We started doing fig camps from, challenges. And then, of course, I met my husband. We were able to work together, build this as a team. I've learned how to take ownership. I've learned how to just, work on myself and feed myself positive thoughts, because, it can be, this life can be cruel and this life can be tough. But when you're doing what you have to do for yourself and just doing personal development and doing what you have to do, the rest will come. It's not easy, and anything that it is worth it doesn't come easy. Doesn't matter what it is. Anything that is worth having takes time, takes effort, takes some tears, some blood, some sweat. So it hasn't been easy, but we are very grateful. We are so, so blessed to be in this type of opportunity that has given us that vehicle to be where we are today. So like I said, this is just the beginning for us. And I'm pretty sure for everyone on here and, everyone on this call, if you guys are clients or coaches, this is the best place. You guys are in the perfect team. You guys have amazing leaders. And I wish you guys the best, because it's worth it, like I said. And I know that you guys will eventually get to where you want to be, whether it's life, physically, financially. I pray for blessings over you guys, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story and taking some time out of your day to listen to me. So thank you, Adriana, for having me.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Araiza. I absolutely loved hearing you. Excuse me. I loved hearing your story. And, like I said in the beginning, one of the most beautiful things that, I get to take from Herbalife as well, and, being in this journey, is that we get to create amazing relationships that we will take with us forever. Because guess what, right? I'm going to see Araiza for the rest of my life in this journey. And, when we see each other, hopefully in events, pretty soon, we'll be able to say, hey, Araiza, how are you? And, be able to have, like, I get to be able to say, she's my friend, and like I said in the beginning, I didn't, we met obviously through Herbalife, and that's what I love about Herbalife. But, within Team Beauty, and I, just so you know, a lot of the people connected on this call today, we work the project, the 8-week transformation challenges, excuse me, with Team Beauty. And so I know a lot of them are familiar with you. And obviously being able to kind of see a little bit here and there, I just wanted to know like a little bit more about your story, and hear where it all started, and know that we were going to take so much from that. And so now, I know that you can count on me for everything that you need. And, thank you for being a yes. Like I said, in that message, you're probably like, yes, I know you, Adriana, but, and that's the beauty that, we get to say yes, we get to share, and that we're all open like that. Right. So thank you so much for being a yes and coming on here and taking, this hour of your time, honestly, to come and pour onto us, because I know that you have so much going on between, running your business, being a mom, being a wife, and so many other things that you come and, she has no direct benefit out of coming in here, because I don't think that she has anyone on her team on here that she said, I'm doing it for this. But, knowing that, right, she gets to share her story and she can impact someone else's life. And that's one of the beautiful things that we get to do in this business, in this company. And, before I continue, because, I probably want to say a couple of more other things, would you be open to maybe answering questions if someone has any questions? Okay. Muy bien. Okay. Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, if anybody has any questions for her, okay, that maybe came up as you were listening to her story, maybe you're a client here and you're like, okay, how do I get started? Or like, what, any suggestion or advice on how to kick off my business, right? Or here's a coach and you hear her story and you're like, I really needed to hear that, but I need maybe elaborate a little bit more. Or maybe, she's like a Team Beauty queen, right? So, she also does, runs a flow very similar to the one that I run in my business, with the 21-day challenges, 8-week transformation challenges, which are huge for me. That's one of the main ways that I continue to run and grow my business. And so I know that, as many people connected on this call, that's the case as well. So if you have any questions on that, you guys are definitely, she just opened up the doors for us to ask. And, Gabriela there says, thank you. Saludos desde Mexico. We have Maxa connected on the call. And, we have obviously, Idali Rivera, who's obviously leading us here in Chicago with Team Beauty. Super grateful for her that, she was able to bring this project over here and she's been able to impact so many women. Super grateful to have you here. I know I was super excited. So anybody have any questions for her? Anybody have anything that, you guys might want to ask her? This is a chance, okay? And this is what I love, that, they're open to answering, anything, any questions or anything, maybe just curiosity that we may have. Okay. But, maybe Munchies. Munchies, did you like the call? She's probably on here for the first time as well on this call. Let me ask you something. So, when you first started, she can't open the mic. Let's see. Can one of the hosts please open mics? No wonder it's pretty quiet on here. Let's see. Can you please? Idali wants to open her mic. Let me see if I can do this. Idali, let me find you. Okay. Okay. Are you able to pick that up or no? There you go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. I was just writing my question, but thank you so much for opening the mic. Araiza, thank you so much for sharing your story. You almost made me cry because one of my reasons why I started Herbalife is, of course, my mom, to help her and to buy her a house, right? Just remind me, like, I want to buy my mom a house. That's one of the reasons why I started Herbalife, right? And I am more clear, and I was like, wow, you brought like tears into me. So thank you so much for being a yes, like Adriana said. Thank you so much for contributing to our organization and to the whole team today. My question to you is, what was the hardest challenge you had, and how did you overcome it?
My hardest challenge, I would have to say, as you guys know, like I mentioned in my story, is having to come into a membership that was already established, and having to just become a person that I knew I was capable of, but I went through so many challenges that I didn't know how to overcome, right? Or how to be that person. So I would say, just have that challenge of being who you're meant to be. Sometimes we have so many bad thoughts in our mind, and that overwhelms us, overconsumes us, that we forget, the purpose and the destiny that we're meant to be. So, like I was saying, so many times throughout my journey, I felt like I wasn't worthy. I felt like I shouldn't be doing Herbalife. I felt like I wanted to quit. I felt like this was too hard. I felt so many things, but to overcome that, to overcome those thoughts of knowing that you're meant to be where you're supposed to be, and knowing that you have everything inside you. To me, it was just it was hard for me to accept things and to step into something that is there. I just didn't know how to go about it, right? So I think what I did to help me see and help me take a step back and realize that it's meant for me, and that it's meant for you, and this business is for you, and this business will allow you to do what's already inside of you come out. I just have to stay focused within myself. I had to do personal development, and I had to read a lot of books. I had to read a lot of books, face challenges, face fears that I was afraid of, face a lot of things that I didn't want to do, like as simple as it was like going to speak on the stage. Like that was one of my worst fears. Like I didn't like speaking on stage, or I didn't know how to meet new people, how to make conversations, how to express myself. So the moment that I felt that, I was like, I need to do it. I wouldn't even think about like anything else, how I was feeling, because I knew that was going to help me overcome the feelings or overcome the challenges that we face. Because every day we're going to face challenges. Every day we're going to have something, in front of our face that's a battle, that's a struggle, that's an obstacle. But the way you overcome that is by you working on yourself and knowing how to focus on what's important and leave out what's not. So I hope that was able to answer your question.
A lot of personal development.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Development. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much. Because I think we all go through like feeling scared of so many things and feeling like we're not worthy enough of doing things, but you just nailed it. Like you're
We
meant
are
to
our
be there.
greatest challenge. Yeah, it is our own mind, it is our own thought, it is always us. Sometimes we think it's other people, sometimes we think it's that person, we want to blame someone else. But when we take a step back and we realize like it's really us who needs the work, who needs to think about it, to maybe listen to something to get you out of that feeling. And that's what I do. The moment when I hear something that's in my mind that is a negative thought, I listen to something. I open up, I don't know, like something on my Instagram that's a motivational quote. Like I'm constantly hearing things. If not, my mind will take over. And that's what you don't want, because you want to be able to learn how to overcome challenges. And it becomes easier when you have positive things in your mind.
Thank you so much, beautiful. If anybody has another question, if not, I keep on asking.
Yes,
Oh, there's a question right now. Adri, can you see the question?
Yes, I see the question. So the question is, when was the time when you both as a couple decided it was time for opening your own spot?
As of right now that we're going to open up a new club, or like in our journey?
I think she's probably, do you want to, yeah, now. I think she's talking about the protein bar. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we decided to open up our own spot because like now that we're press team, right, we've reached a level that everyone is like, you're graduating Herbalife, right? But we, like I said, we have a mentality of this is what we do for our life, for the rest of our lives. And we're not going to stop now, because we're going to continue having more family. We're going to continue having more kids. We want to continue giving back to our parents and our family, our loved ones. And this is what we're going to do for the rest of our lives. We're in a new state, right? We moved to Oklahoma, and we wanted to expand our team. We wanted to, reach other people, other masses from what we currently have in Texas. We wanted to continue reaching out, right? And in order for us, we felt in our heart, in order for us to continue growing our business, growing our team, we wanted to build something new. So we decided to roll up our sleeves. We're like brand new distributors. We don't consider ourselves executive president's team. We're brand new distributors. We're going to continue working for our future. Now this is a whole new chapter. Like I said, I really feel like we're just getting started, so that's why we decided for us to open up a new club, right? A nutrition club, to be able to reach the next 5 years of our life. Now I look at it like when we first began, it was how are the next 5 years of our life going to look like? And now that we're at this 5 year of our lives, right? Now that we reached the 5 years, now it's like, what are the next 5 years of our life going to look like? So we want to continue doing this, right? This is our life. This is what we do. And it just so happened that God moved us to a new state, and this is where we're at. So this is where we're going to build and see what happens from here to the next 5 years. So that is why, we decided to both do it on the same page. We both agreed. My husband and I are always on the same page, and relationship advice, that's important, to always be on the same page with your spouse, and things will go amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And honestly, it gets me excited because before we move on to the next question, there's one more. That you hear, like hearing where you're at now, pretty much if maybe you're on this call and you're a distributor, if you're here press team, that's the goal. Every person that comes into this opportunity wants to achieve. And then from there on, obviously there's so much more room for growth, limitless, right? Unlimited amount of growth that you can have. However, I love it because, she's been able to reach that, and she says, and we're barely getting started. And that feeling, obviously, God, gets me so excited because that's exactly how I'm feeling right now in these last few months. We're just getting started. And honestly, if you're here today, I think this has been, it's the best time for Herbalife.
Yeah.
One more question. How do you work with new distributor? Like, what's your flow with someone that comes in, for example, right now, they connected to the call and they're like, all right, I want to do this.
All right. So how do we work with new distributors? Well, first we ask the question of how serious they are, whether they want to do this part-time or full-time, and then we know how to coach them from there. We know someone is just interested in part-time income, and then we know someone is interested in building a career, right? So our flow is obviously, getting them into a new distributor training calls. We have every month, my husband and I host one new distributor training call. So on our BizWorks and Herbalife, right, we check who has came into the business, and we send a massive message, and we let them know, like, hey, welcome to the team. I saw that you just joined Herbalife. Ben and I, this is Ada and Ben, your upline president's team. We have a new distributor training call this day, right? So we get them on a new distributor training call, and then we get on them with a one-on-one and seeing what tool they want to use, whether it's Team Beauty, whether it's big camps, whether it's clubs, and then we plug them into our chats that are doing what they have to do, right? Teaching them about the first 72 hours, teaching them how to make their first 500. So constantly building that relationship with them. I think more than anything is obviously the what's the flow is always going to be there, right? Like the structure, 8-week challenges, the men's challenges. We have the flow is already set up and the structure is already set up. So for us, it's like, are you in this or are you just a part-time? So we can know how to coach you, and then just being building relationships with people. That is so important. And I think sometimes we take it for granted, but building relationships with them and making them feel like that they are important and that they're meant for this. Because I always go back to when I first started, I felt like I didn't know anything, right? So I go back to that, and we always make our new distributors feel that it's okay not to know it all, right? You just have to be excited and you have to just go with it. Even if you're afraid, just run with it. And we teach them that. We teach them principles first before anything else. And because that's how they're going to stay in the business. That's how you're going to retain your distributors, by building that relationship with them and letting them know that you're always going to be there to help them. And this is not something that that you could teach, right? Like, I don't have a perfect structure like for this question, but it's when people ask us that, Ben and I always say, like, because we love on people. And I think that's what Mark Hughes is, right? Like, he would love on people, and people will buy into whatever you're selling because they love you, because of who you are. And we're like, all of our, like, TJ's our diamond, and he is our best friend, like, and he's been able to stay with us. Our other get team members, they have been really good, a strong friendship with us. We don't always meet eye to eye, but they know that we're always going to be there for them, regardless whether it's business or friendship. We will always choose friendship over business. And that's you can't train that, because a lot of people will say business over friendship, but for us, because of our morals and principles, we always say, we love you guys and we respect you, and this is the structure, this is the flow, and it's up to you, right? It's been proven, it's been established, but it's up to you to get to where you want to be. And sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, like, that distributor didn't make it because it's my fault, I didn't teach them right. But no, because they do have all the tools, they do have the structure, and they do have everything that they need in front of them to just go and take advantage of that.
Awesome. I love how you answer that. Thank you so much, Araiza. Does anybody want to have the last question? And last question. All right. Idali says, love on people. Yes, awesome. Thank you. And I love it. I mean, and it's so true, right? About building those relationships. Let me ask you something, like elaborating a little bit more on that. Like, obviously, when you're working with, some of your distributors, and, they share your goals, and on what level to work with them, right? but at what point, or how do you work with them when you obviously want them obviously to be able to achieve their goals, but in some time, like during their journey, obviously, like it's not as clear for them anymore. Like, how much time do you invest in these in your coaches, or do you give them their space, or how do you guys go about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. We definitely give them their space. I don't think we've ever been on top of people. That's just not how we are as a person, like individuals. I know some people do, but for personal experience and advice, whenever we do have someone that shares their goals, that tells us what they want, we hold them accountable and we let them know, hey, remember you told me this? Remember you told me you wanted this or you wanted that? But if they're not putting their effort, then there's only so much that I could do, right? So we do give them their space and we let them know the relationship is there, the friendship is there. But if you're not giving me your 100%, then I'm not going to give you my 100%, because then it's going to cancel out and nothing's going to get done. So what we do is just give them their space until they're ready. Then eventually they come back and some don't, but that's just the business. That's just how it works. That's why they say you have to front line until you reach someone who's like a go-getter and they'll do what they have to do. Because you're going to get people that maybe do this full time, but not with the full-time mentality. So you just have to always, hey, here's the call, here's the event, here's what you have to do, here's the tools, here's the training. But if they're not constantly in communication with me, like, hey, I did this, hey, I got a new person, hey, that training was awesome, then I let them be and see where it goes. And that's all I can do. That's all that we can do. Just give them their space. And as a coach, you do what you have to do as far as sending the info and guiding them and mentoring them. But if they don't want it, they don't want it.
Love that. Thank you so much. Well, I want to, go ahead and close out this call, because I think you gave us so much and you provided so much value to many of us tonight. And I want to, and I speak on, the whole team, but for me personally, you were able to pour into, obviously myself, my business, and, be able to give me some, those words that I needed to hear to continue taking myself and, as a person, as a leader, and my business into the next level. And, one thing that I take that, I put it here in my notes is God didn't call us to be successful. He called us to be faithful. And then from there, and everything follows. And just hearing you and how you shared your story, which was absolutely amazing. In the beginning you said, I can't believe, and I know we'll be hearing you on stage soon, but sometimes we do start our journey saying, like, can't believe I'm ever going to share the story. And you did it so graciously, and thank you so much for pouring onto us. Like I said, I'm forever grateful for this call. Thank you for being a yes. I take so much, and I do, my best wishes is that everything that you gave to us is multiplied back to you, to your family, in abundance, and all the good things that life has to offer and that God has to offer in your business, in your family, in all areas. So thank you so much. I know that if one of my co-hosts, please, can open up the lines, the mics, so, we can go ahead and say thank you. I know they're putting it on the chat because they can't open up their mics, but if we can go ahead and wrap it up and just give her the best wishes and say thank you so much. Obviously coming from our hearts, thanking her for everything that she did, for this hour that she gave to us, to our business, that, definitely inspired and showed us what's possible. That, regardless of challenges and obstacles that we're always going to face, no matter what, that, this is an amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much, beautiful. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Araiza.
Thank you.